have a spray tan. People could see on TV and on Sports ESPN. CC could see me. I'm as pale as could be right now. You, on the other hand.
Well, it's negative 20 in New York City. Not exactly ideal weather for tanning. And we're coming to warm San Francisco, California, where the legs are going to be bare. I'm not trying to embarrass us.
Is it warm out there?
Very warm.
Nice.
It's
Beautiful.
very nice, Cece, not to rub it in.
What are we talking about here? What are we at?
60s.
60s.
Oh,
and
wow.
Nice light breeze.
That sounds damn near tropical.
I'm telling you.
Sitting here in 20-degree weather in New York, that is incredible.
We got off the plane and we were like, what? This is a dream.
San Francisco is interesting because I don't believe I've been here since 1996. There are some interesting areas in San Francisco. Saw shoplifting in action yesterday, walking into a store. Rob Lorenzo, our social and digital director, and I don't even know if I told you this. Yeah, we walked into a store, like a drugstore, and guy just stole stuff right out. Security just was watching him run out there. It was the weirdest thing.
And you didn't try and stop him?
We didn't know what was happening. We were online at the store trying to pay, and then all of a sudden we heard them screaming. We're like, what? And then they started laughing after the guy stole stuff.
So what did Nuno take then?
He took no. So Nuno was posing for pictures as well, all throughout San Francisco, from what I heard.
Oh, from his fans?
Yeah, it was a secret. Some of the places he posed in front of. Maybe Victoria had it. I don't know. Anyway, so the other thing is when I saw Small CC for the first time yesterday in the airport, it was an interesting interaction between the two of us because I saw her from a distance waiting online at a coffee place. She didn't see me, and I just said, oh, my God, that's Michelle Smallman with this spray tan, and just started screaming it all across JFK Airport.
Oh, my God.
He's a real great teammate, CC. And then, by the way, he's
you're
like,
just making a scene in the airport.
That's right.
The last place where you want to make a scene.
That's right. That's right.
He's like, that's Michelle Smallman with the spray tan. She's with ESPN. Can you also get me an egg sandwich while you're up there?
That is true.
Screaming across all these
you
people.
Embarrassed her and then asked for a salad?
Yes.
What kind of animal are you, Evan?
Yeah.
Thank you. And Cece, this place has like pre-made sandwiches, and he's like, I said to him, they don't have just an egg sandwich. It's like bacon, egg, and cheese. He's like, would you mind asking them to make a specialty one? Screaming across all these people.
Hold on. Time out. Run it back. Pre-made breakfast sandwich at the
I don't want to say where we were, but
yeah, we're not giving free shout-outs.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not about giving a free shout-out to anybody. I'm just saying we're just talking about life choices here.
Slim pickings.
Pre-made sandwiches in the airport?
What are we doing here?
I don't know if that's the way to go, Ev. I don't know if that's the right game plan.
CC,
it's a bad
you're right.
play.
It was not the way to go. I can promise you that.
I could have. Listen, I'm not with you guys. Obviously, I'm in New York City. I'm hanging out with the Bambino on diaper duty. But I'm just, if I was there as a good teammate and just as a good human, I would advise against the pre-made sandwich in the airport. I just feel like you're unnecessarily risking it all when you go in that direction.
You are right. And when both of us bit into the pre-made sandwich and it was frozen for both of us, not ideal. Not ideal. And that happened yesterday. But, yeah, so there you go. Part one of our travel stories from yesterday.
Sandwich ahead of a 5-hour flight?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, Wendy, I don't know what we're doing here, Wendy.
Why would they do that?
It was a risk.
Why
you know what, Wendy, let's go to your home area because you guys introduced a head coach yesterday, and Todd Monken with the Cleveland Browns. Now, setup is important here. So the Cleveland Browns, throughout this whole process, everyone thought, oh, they got to keep their defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz. That's a big deal.
Huge piece of the puzzle.
Can they make him the head coach? Can they hire a head coach where Schwartz is going to want to stay? Well, Todd Monken gets hired, Ravens offensive coordinator, and Jim Schwartz right now supposedly is not thrilled about it. I'm going to guess after the press conference with Monken yesterday, he's a little bit less thrilled about it. Here is Todd Monken at his introductory press conference talking about the then, maybe now, defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns, Jim Schwartz.
I didn't take this job because of Jim Schwartz. I have a lot of respect for Jim Schwartz, but as I would hope he has for me. But I took it because of the players that are here, the ownership, Andrew Berry, and the ability to build this roster from the ground up on the offensive side. So, and I said this to the other guys. I didn't think I'd say it, but I'm going to say it. When I was preparing for the Cleveland Browns, I wasn't trying to chip Jim Schwartz. I was chipping Myles Garrett. And when I was sliding a protection to the outside backers or Grant Delpit that were blitzing off the edge, I was sliding the protection of the players. And when I was worried about throwing to the right against Denzel Ward or Tyson Campbell to the left, that's who I was worried about throwing at.
Why? Why say it that way? What's the upside? Small CC. What is the upside to kind of in a roundabout way almost taking a shot here at Jim Schwartz?
Yeah,
there is no almost about it. He took a shot at him. There
what's
is
the
no
upside?
almost about
No
it.
doubt.
You know what it is, Evan? He doesn't want Jim Schwartz on his staff. He doesn't. When you frame it in that way, when you go into such detail and saying I wasn't game planning for Jim Schwartz, that is disrespect. You can say with all due respect, but you showed Jim Schwartz no respect. And you made an untenable situation even worse because the guy that was orchestrating one of the best defenses in the National Football League this season and has what will be the reigning defensive player of the year in Myles Garrett, who just set the single-season sack record. When you have so many prominent players like Grant Delpit and Tyson Campbell coming out and saying they wanted Jim Schwartz to be the head coach, when you have that type of dynamic and you attack the DC at the introductory press conference, who the Cleveland Browns were clearly interested in retaining, you let it be known that you don't want Jim Schwartz to be around, and you're hoping by continuing to poke the bear, Jim Schwartz does you a favor and decides he's not coming back.
But why would you not want him to come back? Why would you want to plant your flag in this way? Obviously, this, to me, was a power move. I am in charge now. I know Jim Schwartz was in the mix to be the head coach. I know he is a very influential and important figure here, but I'm in charge now. That's the way I read Todd Monken's comments yesterday. And remember when we spoke to Dan Orlovsky about Joe Brady getting elevated from offensive coordinator to head coach in Buffalo, and we were saying, why didn't they go outside the building? And he goes, because you can't let that guy leave. He's so important to Josh Allen, so important to that offense. You can't let that guy leave. I kind of thought that's the route that Cleveland would go and elevate Jim Schwartz, because what has been working for Cleveland? The defense. Since Jim Schwartz has come over there in the past 3 seasons, they have one of the best units in the NFL. Since 2023, Cleveland has allowed the fewest yards in the league. CeCe talked about Myles Garrett obviously flourishing under Jim Schwartz's tutelage. So I really can't understand why, if you have an asset in the building like that, that clearly is giving you results, why you would want to say something like that about him and push him in that other direction, especially in such a public manner.
Let's just be real about all of this. Todd Monken is a risky hire because Todd Monken is he's not Ben Johnson in terms of the hype around him. Todd Monken has had many opportunities in his career to be awesome, and he's been good. Like, he hasn't been unbelievable. I understand he had the 1 year with Lamar, but then you kind of look at it the other way because he lost that year with Lamar last year, right? They did not see eye to eye on things. I understand why Todd Monken doesn't want Jim Schwartz there. Todd Monken is not Bill Parcells. Todd Monken is not Mike Tomlin. Todd Monken is an unproven coach, and to have a guy that clearly wants your job alongside of you may not be the healthiest situation. But the way in which the Cleveland Browns did it yesterday is not smart either. They should have just come to grips with the fact that Schwartz is not going to be there, have a mutual parting of ways, let him go somewhere else. If you want to work in, we're going to let you out of your contract, but you can't go to these places, fine. I understand why Monken doesn't want him. I don't understand why Monken had to do it the way he did it yesterday.
Hold on. Okay,
yeah.
we got more on that one.